NGO is a scumbag supreme, is a scumbag supreme, and we all know what that means. Come on.
Now, sisters and brothers, we know we got over by the blood, the sweat, and the tears of sheroes and heroes, some whose names we know and some whose names we do not know. But I will tell you something, we have been here before. Now, the only difference is we got some company, Rev. We got our gay lesbian sisters and brothers with us this time. We got our Hispanic, Asian, Native American sisters and brothers with us this time. I think Dr. Reverend Martin Luther King said we may not have gotten here on the same ship, but we are in the same boat right now.
In Father Teresa's Wine Cellar, we believe all oppression is intersectional. And this means our analysis of current events frequently includes discussion of difficult and explicit content. Any combination of the following topics could be included in our show: murder, rape, war, climate change, racism, sexism, violence, sexual violence, homophobic violence, heterocentrism, discrimination and abuse against individuals of nonconformist sexuality, domestic violence, child abuse, child rape, child neglect, elderly abuse, verbal abuse, police brutality, microaggressions, ableism, cyberbullying, genital mutilation, ideological extremism, and people just being total fucking assholes.
This Kyle Rittenhouse story is hilarious.
You said this Kyle Rittenhouse story is hilarious. I tried to point that fool out and I said there he is. I caught the Rittenhouse slipping on the block. I said I gotta get him back for the homie he shot. He caught him slipping, so I'ma catch him slipping back and hit him like that. Oh no, I might get taken off the track. Facebook, don't zuck me for the freestyle. I'm just saying you should pay attention to me now, because I got a couple of rhymes and a few more bars for the flow, and I'm letting them know I represent in Tacoma, though it is that hilltop. The 23rd Street is where I came up rough. Them fools didn't know the situations we had were tough. That's just as simple of a rhyme. It's one syllable, but I keep it realer, though I'm not a criminal like Kyle Rittenhouse and Dylan Roof. They fill the rooms with hate, and they will kill you like poof and take you out the game. They'll murder you insane. Them Proud Boys, you know they be creeping with them things. They're gang members. They should get put on gang injunction, because like gangsters, it's the only way they function. And we all know it's true, but they're down with the boys in blue. And we all know who that is, fool. Come on. Alright, Phoenix Kalita.
Yes.
I heard that you have been traveling around the United States.
Maybe.
And you went to a place.
Yes.
I ain't talking about East Germany, I'm talking about Tennessee.
Ma'am, what's going down?
A lot, actually. So, apparently, legislation introduced in the Tennessee State Legislature this month is raising alarms from the state's police union and gun control advocates. So both the police and gun control advocates are agreeing on something. This bill has to be fucking horrendous. Let's find out. Police advocates say that it could turn the streets into, quote, the Old West. Two bills in the State Assembly and State Senate, HB 254 and SB 2523, would amend a Tennessee law and designate, quote, a person who has been issued an enhanced handgun carry permit as a member of law enforcement. This is really bad. A summary for the bill reads on the Tennessee General Assembly website, quote, as introduced, it expands the definition of law enforcement officer to include a person who has been issued an enhanced handgun carry permit, provided that the permit is not suspended, revoked, or expired for purposes of authority to carry a firearm under certain circumstances. So anyone who has an enhanced permit is now a cop.
What the?
I mean, it doesn't seem like a good idea.
It doesn't even sound real. Like,
Tennessee, man. There are currently 686,000 active enhanced gun carry permit holders in the state.
Well, what's that number again there, partner?
686,000.
And where?
Tennessee.
I ain't talking about East Germany. I'm talking about Tennessee.
Yeah, witches, book burnings, anyone with a gun is a cop now. Sounds great.
What? You're saying that doesn't sound great?
It does not sound great.
I told my wife, I said, well, honey.
There's only cops there.
They're just gonna go around shooting black people. That's what they're gonna do.
Yep.
But it looked
I'm
like
gonna
he
do
was
something
stealing.
illegal.
I thought he had a gun. Well, it's not illegal because lynching isn't a federal crime. Silly.
Homie, don't play that game no more.
All right.
Thank you, Rand Paul. Yeah, so a spokesperson for the department declined to comment about the proposed legislation. Although the legislation doesn't have any hearings scheduled yet and the assembly version only has one co-sponsor, it's already getting pushback, including from a police union who says it could ultimately lead to more gun violence. Oh, man.
Well, duh.
Jonathan Gold, a Michigan-based firearms instructor, because when you want to know about guns, you go to the guy from Michigan. Fucking hell. He is a Michigan-based firearms instructor and member of the nonprofit Giffords Gun Owners for Safety. Told ABC News that the bill would encourage more vigilantism and ultimately lead to more harm. He said, quote, I don't understand our regression to the Old West because that's what this feels like. I've studied the Old West and I don't think anyone wants to go back to the murder rate of Tombstone. Well, yeah. And I like that in here they have a little gun violence tracker for 2022.
All right.
And already we are at 20,167 deaths. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. It refreshed itself. That was for December.
Damn it.
We are at 88,900. Stop refreshing.
Wait, for where?
The country. Just gun violence tracker in general. Yeah.
Gun violence tracker, and it keeps refreshing.
Yeah, because it also has like a daily count. Like so far today, like 18 people have died from gun violence, which is, it's only 11 o'clock in the morning. So, all right.
Jesus.
Yeah, and there have been 88,000 deaths and 174,000 injuries in the last 5 years. So there you go.
And it's gonna triple, quadruple.
Right, like with this, I can't even fucking imagine. Under Tennessee gun rules, an adult civilian resident can apply for an enhanced gun permit, which allows for both open and concealed carrying by paying a $100 fee and providing an 8-hour handgun safety course. You can be a cop for 8 hours? Like, if you take an 8-hour course and pay $100, you basically get to be a cop because you have this permit?
Yeah.
That sounds like a horrible idea.
That's terrible.
Why not?
If you're black and in Tennessee, get a gun. Or just
Get the fuck out of the
Yeah,
South.
just
Black
get
people, please. I'm begging. Get the fuck out of the South.
Okay, so I'm seeing GVA 7-year review, deaths, willful, malicious, accidental for 2014, 12,418, and moving forward to 2020, it increased with one slowdown in 2018, and but 2020, 19,411.
Okay.
Injuries, willful, malicious, accidental, so not deaths, 39,492. Wait, that's so far for 2020?
I think so.
Oh wait, no, 2020 was 2 years ago. God damn, millennials, we keep
Yeah.
stopping time in our heads.
We do. Well, that's because we're still teenagers, you know.
Yeah, fact. All right, well that's
yeah.
nice.
Yeah, so they're doing that, and you should know that it's only $100 in 8 hours. But even that might be too much. That might be too much training.
Oh shit,
Because under Tennessee gun rules,
BOGO Tuesdays.
several groups of residents can get an exemption to the training altogether, including registered armed guards, members of the military, and veterans.
So people with PTSD don't even have to get
Nope.
trained.
A state representative, Christopher Hurt, of course his last name is Hurt.
Wait, didn't we come across a hurt before in another article?
I think we did.
All right.
He is the lead sponsor for the State House bill and did not immediately respond to messages for comment. State Senator Joey Hensley, who introduced the state version of the State Senate version of the bill, told ABC News that the goal was to allow enhanced gun permit carriers to carry their weapons into locations. Ready? Are you ready for the logic? This is what they're saying this bill is for.
Yes.
It is to allow enhanced gun permit carriers to carry their weapons into locations where off-duty law enforcement enters, such as a store or restaurant that prohibits guns inside the business. He wants them to do the cop's job for them. Hensley said the bill would not allow enhanced permit holders to bring their weapons into courts or schools, but restaurants are fine. This is trying to open it up so that people who go to the extreme to get this extra permit go to the extreme, nigga. It's 8 hours of training.
So in restaurants, remember we just covered the story in the restaurant where the man was throwing stuff at the folks. We've covered a gazillion stories of restaurants. Actually, that's just a thing that I think more people are probably aware of now is going on in restaurants.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then also, like, how people react to someone else wearing a mask when they don't want anyone wearing them.
Yeah.
Like where I was working yesterday, they removed their mask mandate for employees. And multiple people stopped by to, hey, you don't have to wear that, man. You don't have to wear that. It's like, can I just leave me alone? What happened to the freedom part?
No, freedom to do what I want you to do.
Woo.
Yeah, that's what you have the freedom for. So he says, the senator said in a quote, "This is trying to open it up so that people who go to the extreme to get this extra permit can have the right to defend themselves in more places."
Defend themselves?
From what?
Each other. Because if you know everyone's armed and you're armed, everyone is even more dangerous than they already were.
Yeah.
You're in a perpetual state of stand your ground.
And Scott DeLashmutt, who is the president of the Tennessee State Lodge for the Fraternal Order of Police, said police officers in the state spend countless hours on the gun range honing their marksmanship skills and must qualify annually with the same weapons. He also added that officers spend hours training in driving, criminal law, and defensive techniques, and said that they are currently, the police union is adamantly opposed to this bill in its current form. There are vigorous standards in place to ensure officers are familiar with weapons, but the enhanced handgun carry permit training is far less demanding than anything required from a cadet attending a basic law enforcement academy. Hensley, who does not have any experience in law, Hensley, so that's the senator who wrote the bill, does not have any experience in law enforcement, and said the union has a misunderstanding of the bill because it's not meant to make civilians law enforcement members. Let me just scroll back up to the top real quick.
Then what?
The bill, SB 2523, would amend a Tennessee law and designate a person who has been issued an enhanced handgun carry permit as a member of law enforcement. Weird. At the bottom of the article, the guy who wrote the bill is saying, the police have a misunderstanding of the bill because it's not meant to make civilians law enforcement members.
That's exactly what it is.
That's like literally in the bill. He said, "I'm not doing
stupid bullshit like this."
He said, "I'm not doing that at all," and added he's in conversations with the police union. All right.
Didn't even know anything. Didn't say he's like uninformed on law enforcement things. So how is he writing the bill on it?
Because he's the senator. He gets to write legislation, whether it's shitty or not. Gold, that is the firearms expert from Michigan, who has trained both civilians and law enforcement officers in gun use for more than 20 years, said an 8-hour training course doesn't necessarily give gun permit holders the same knowledge and training that police officers have. They are instructed in the laws that they will face should they brandish or use their weapon. He added, "I don't think the general public understands the criminal and legal liability they will face if they use their weapons." Okay, well, there you go. Paul Kemp, the co-founder of the grassroots group Gun Owners for Responsible for Gun Ownership, said he believes the Tennessee legislation is part of a growing trend around the country that is encouraging legal vigilantism. It's so weird, encouraging legal vigilantism while we're also trying to ban talking about critical race theory, ban trans people from existing, ban gay people from being out as gay, ban porn, ban abortion. I don't know. Why would we have a need for increased vigilantes as we move closer to this fucking conservative hellscape? I don't know.
You are the goddamn whitest person I've ever seen.
Because they're all that.
Ugh. Yeah. So that's what's going on in Tennessee. We'll follow this bill and see what happens, but yeah. And then, of course, this was my immediate thought. This is something Kemp said in the article. I think it would be difficult for law enforcement to distinguish between a civilian with an enhanced gun permit or a perpetrator that they want to subdue.
Well, also,
Yeah,
like,
wouldn't you just get to choose which one you want to be once you're like in front of the cops?
Right. It'd be like, no, I have an enhanced gun permit. I didn't do anything wrong. Assuming you live through the police encounter.
yeah, and the police read the bill, right?
Yeah.
I don't think they did.
No,
It's
they're
like 22 paragraphs long.
I don't think they did.
Yeah. So, yeah.
And then if you're a white man with a gun, like you're really gonna have more privilege. Like they already have more privileges, but now you're like on cop level.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll see what happens with that. Because that's like the story about the, what was it, where they buried the lead about the cop who was, oh, it was one of those shitty headlines where a cop killed someone, but they made, we covered it, where it made it sound like he shot a dead body.
Oh, yeah.
When it
Yeah.
like, it's gonna be that type of
They're
shit.
gonna start, like
Yeah.
Tennessee Stories is not gonna be like, oh, shooting. It's gonna be like, person had to stop someone from robbing. This.
Right? Exactly. That's what it's gonna fucking be.
God.
So that's good. Yeah,
Yeah, you found the funk.
I found the funk. Are we doing more? Or are we?
No, ma'am. All right, folks, and that's Monday, not Tuesday. Jesus Christ, wine cellar action. Right, Monday was the show review of Bel Air, not
yeah.
the Fresh Prince. Where I think that Carlton really is like an amalgamation of every podcaster that tried to beef with me. All right,
So
what? Yes, ma'am.
yeah, but we are gonna have to cover the Kyle Rittenhouse thing because that shit's fucking hilarious. So at some point, yeah.
What's the gist of it? What's the headline?
He's creating a new organization called the Media Accountability Project because he wants to sue everyone who said mean things about him during his trial. Like, he
Someone-
literally said he's going to sue Whoopi Goldberg for calling him a murderer, except that you did kill. Just because you got acquitted doesn't mean those people aren't dead anymore. Like, you did kill people. You are a murderer. What the fuck?
So is this like probably going to be a private business or a 501c3?
It's going to be a 501c3. It's going to be a cash grab because he's promoting it on Tucker Carlson.
Oh, damn. He just killed himself into riches. Yeah. From killing people to riches.
The American dream.
He didn't even have to rap.
He didn't.
He went straight from the streets to the big house. Yeah, he did not have to do the rap part. Not one Vlad interview. Nothing.
Oh, this is a rapper?
No, Kyle Rittenhouse, he's a gang member.
Oh.
And I do mean that. He's a member of the Proud Boys, which is a street gang. They're just not called that because they're just like, what, a club, I guess? Or just a group?
I guess.
Yeah, but they literally go into the streets and get into fights with people that they oppose on purpose.
Yeah.
As a unit, as a group of guys, and they do a little play fight to get involved with each other. Mm-hmm. Like
That's
gang members.
literally a game.
Yeah. And they have a gang sign. They take like what would people do, the OOK symbol, but like they're doing it for like a P and a W for white power.
Oh,
So they have
wow.
a gang sign, they have an initiation process, and they roam the streets getting into fights.
And they have flags.
They have flags. They're gang members.
They have actually pretty coordinated outfits. A lot of them wear the same brands of clothes.
Yeah.
Not necessarily colors, but same brands, yeah.
I think at least if they're in California, they should be on gang injunction. Or as they said in the Bel Air show with the Fresh Prince feller, they said I think gang acceleration, something like that, like for how the police treat them, and that's how they should be handled. I mean, if not, then American policing is illegitimate. WineCellarMedia.com.
Replace Western culture.
Yep, yeah, great replacement now, great replacement tomorrow, great replacement forever. And this was on the free feed. There is more action and activity at patreon.com/winecellarmedia. Fund at the $10 a month level with the Phoenix and Williams show. There are more archives that I didn't have to, do as much to produce at the $5 a month level, the Phoenix Calida breakdown, which is going to be changed by the top of next month to fit something, because I got Phoenix Calida more at the $10 a month level. And the $1 a month level is like, that's just basically a perpetual monthly $1 tip jar just for all the free episodes in general. Just the over 1,000 free episodes. Thank you if you come through and just hit it up at $1 a month. Right? If everybody that downloads an episode every week did that, boom, it's full time right there.
Yep.
Yep. All right, folks. We're the heck out of here. I gotta hit stop on everything now.
Yeah,